The sun cracks the horizon, casting an orange glow over the city. On the outskirts, a familiar scene unfolds, the ballet of construction. Trucks rumble, engines cough to life, and crews gather for another day's work. There's a raw energy in the air, a sense of purpose as hammers pound and sparks fly. It's honest work, building the future brick by brick, beam by beam. But amid the symphony of construction, a less noble process is also at work, the relentless generation of waste. Every saw cut, every slab poured, every wall erected leaves behind its share of debris. Wood scraps, metal shavings, concrete chunks, plastic packaging, it all piles up, threatening to engulf the very progress it surrounds. Yet too often this growing mountain of waste is ignored, treated as an unavoidable byproduct of creation rather than the potential hazard it truly is. The early hours are deceptive. The site is relatively clean, yesterday's debris hauled away in the fading light. Workers go about their tasks, focused on the blueprints, the deadlines, the immediate job at hand. Safety briefings emphasize hard hats and steel-toed boots, but seldom delve into the dangers lurking beneath their feet, hidden in the shadows of the burgeoning waste. It's easy to overlook the problem when it's just a few stray boards, a scattering of nails, out of sight, out of mind, as the saying goes. But as the sun climbs higher and the work intensifies, so too does the waste. What begins as a trickle soon becomes a torrent, threatening to overwhelm the site and everyone on it. The morning progresses and the construction site transforms into a whirlwind of activity. Each successful task, each milestone achieved, comes at a cost, more waste. The air grows thick with sawdust as lumber is measured, cut and assembled. Sparks shower down, leaving behind a trail of twisted metal shavings from welding torches. Amidst this whirlwind, the initial orderliness of the site fades. Designated waste disposal areas, clearly marked in the pre-dawn light, are quickly swallowed by the rising tide of debris. Workers, pressed for time and focused on their immediate tasks, grow lax in their disposal habits. A scrap of wood tossed carelessly here, a pile of concrete chunks dumped haphazardly there. The site slowly morphs into a chaotic obstacle course. The once clear pathways become treacherous, littered with hidden dangers. Sharp edges protrude from carelessly discarded boards. Nails lie in wait like miniature caltrops, and unstable piles threaten to collapse underfoot. The very materials meant to build now pose a threat to those who handle them. As the sun reaches its zenith, the heat intensifies, further fueling the sense of urgency on the site. Workers, sweat-drenched and fatigued, become desensitized to the encroaching chaos. The once unthinkable navigating a minefield of debris becomes the accepted norm. The stage is set, the scene primed for a preventable disaster. The human eye, for all its wonders, is a flawed instrument. We see what we focus on, our attention drawn to the immediate, the obvious, the subtle trip hazard, the glint of metal barely visible in the dappled shade. These silent threats often escape our notice until it's too late. On a construction site, complacency can be a silent killer. Familiarity with the environment breeds a false sense of security. Workers, their minds preoccupied with the task at hand, fall victim to routine, their eyes scanning but not truly seeing the dangers lurking beneath the surface. The pile of scrap wood, seemingly innocuous, hides a nest of rusty nails poised to pierce through a careless boot. The discarded plastic sheeting, whipped by the wind, transforms into a blinding curtain, obscuring a sudden drop or an oncoming vehicle. Even the air itself becomes thick with unseen hazards, fine dust particles invisible to the naked eye, infiltrating lungs with every breath. The tragedy is that these dangers are not unavoidable acts of fate. They are preventable consequences of neglect, of a collective failure to recognize the potential hazards of poorly managed construction waste. A moment of carelessness, a lapse in judgment can have lasting, even fatal repercussions. The sharp crack of breaking wood echoed across the construction site, followed by a muffled cry. All activity ceased as heads turned, searching for the source of the commotion. In the center of it all, a figure lay sprawled amidst the debris, clutching his leg, his face contorted in pain. The injured worker, a seasoned veteran known for his steady hand and tireless work ethic, had fallen victim to the very hazard everyone had grown numb to. A seemingly innocuous pile of scrap lumber, hastily discarded and forgotten, concealed a fatal flaw, a rotten plank that gave way under his weight. As fellow workers rushed to his aid, the true extent of the injury became apparent. A compound fracture, the jagged bone protruding through the skin, a testament to the unforgiving nature of construction site hazards. The scene, once abuzz with the symphony of construction, fell silent, the air thick with shock and regret. In the aftermath of the accident, the familiar routine of the construction site took on a somber tone. The injured worker, his future uncertain, was carried away in an ambulance, the wail of the siren a stark reminder of the fragility of life. The work, once the sole focus, seemed trivial in the face of such a preventable tragedy. Every injury, every accident is a harsh lesson learned. The true cost of neglecting construction waste is measured not just in dollars and cents, but in human suffering and lost potential. It's a price too high to pay, especially when the solution is within reach. Creating a safe and efficient construction site starts with a fundamental shift in mindset. Waste management can no longer be an afterthought, a necessary evil to be dealt with when time allows. It must be an integral part of the construction process, embedded in every stage, from planning to execution. Designated waste disposal areas, clearly marked and regularly serviced, are crucial. Investing in proper waste containers, separating materials for recycling, and providing adequate training to workers on waste handling procedures are not expenses, but rather investments in safety and efficiency. Most importantly, fostering a culture of responsibility is paramount. Every worker, from the foreman to the newest recruit, must understand that maintaining a clean and organized site is not someone else's job, it's everyone's responsibility. A moment taken to dispose of waste properly is an investment in the well-being of everyone on site. The true measure of a successful construction project lies not just in the structures we erect, but in the safety and well-being of those who build them. By acknowledging the hidden dangers of neglecting construction waste and taking proactive steps to mitigate them, we can create a safer, more productive, and ultimately more fulfilling work environment for everyone.